Hello! Welcome back to another episode on MegStories. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on new content. My husband started his own affair. First, I need to make it clear in case it is not labeled so, I'm the one who cheated first. My app was a coworker and it lasted 3 months. Then app was caught by OBS and left the company to limit the repercussions that would have on him. I realized just now how much these acronyms make things so much clearer than pronouns. After the end of my affair, I realized that I wanted to save my marriage. But I realized that beside the affair, I was also treating him horribly on other accounts and I had fully neglected him. I wanted to start correct that, but he had got used to it and now he was living in his new way. We had become housemates and I imagined he was probably thinking of getting out of marriage obligations. I wanted to woo him back, but I had no idea how to look like a better time to have than his plans of the day or weekend. I was still trying when the other day I saw on one of his screens a conversation he was having with another. She was his app, and she was much younger and cuter. Oftentimes when he was out, it was flat out to spend time with her. It hurts, of course, but on the other hand, I preferred a lot that this was what was happening, rather than he'd be destroyed and lifeless by my own affair. We used to believe in our love, and it could have been the end of life worth living to him. I preferred not. I confronted him the same evening, and as he said I was in no position to have this conversation, I understood that he knew about my own affair and his would have never happened otherwise. I confessed to the general lines and could see that he knew everything and it was more of an admission and let him know that it was finished forever and I was hoping he'd let me fix our marriage. I asked that he ended his affair, which he refused and said he was making his decisions himself. I asked what was his plans for our future and our marriage, and he said he didn't know and he was giving himself time before he makes decisions. I told him that was childish, and he said making life-altering decisions without taking the time to make them is what is childish. And that if there was something I didn't like, I should have thought about that before cheating. You can't be clearer than that. I asked what he wanted from me, and he doesn't know. He doesn't know if he will want our marriage, but he does know that if he witnesses me again involved with another man, then he's 100 done. He doesn't think that this stance means he needs to see his app as I had time to have fun in my affair and he hasn't. And beside, he didn't betray anyone, I did. And even if he didn't feel like being farewell, then he wouldn't be. I think in the current situation, I'm not a part of his life beside on paper. Our house is where he comes home to sleep after work and where his stuff is, but that I live there too is not significant to him. I want to win him back, and it was a huge relief that he's not suffering, but I have no idea He's giving himself time to make decisions, okay, but he won't tell me anything he wants from me. I want to do what he needs without him needing to ask for it, but I have no idea. There has to be something. Now for the next story. Today I found out my husband isn't over my affair. My husband and I got into an argument yesterday that exploded into talks of divorce. Early in the morning around 5, he walked in feeling really down. He had gone to a bar he regularly goes to. One of his friends bought all of his food and drinks for him, and she gave him money. He explained to me that he felt unhappy. I explained that it's possible to feel grateful for things, but not be happy about them. Things were going pretty well throughout the day. But this whole thing about the money didn't sit right with me and made me think of an incident in my past relationship where another woman did something for the house and it turned out my boyfriend was cheating on me with her. She would be in the apartment with him while I was gone. He led her to believe he dumped me, but we were still living together. He claimed she just liked him, but the feeling wasn't mutual. Anyway, this reminded me of that. After a while in the day yesterday, all of my anxiety was bubbling up, and on the advice of a friend, I asked my husband if so could meet the girlfriend. His response was, "Why?" I was sort of taken aback by the answer. He explained that I had already met her on some random date night. He took me to the bar, but it was so long ago I didn't remember. I was upset about how he replied and said that if he wanted to meet any of my friends, my answer would be yes, not why. He even asked me if I felt like I should know all of his friends. I told him yes, I should. I should the very bare minimum know who they are. My problem is how frequently and how long he is out. Not necessarily that he does. I've asked him several times to change the behavior, and last night, I even gave an ultimatum that if he keeps doing this, we won't be here when he gets home one day. He started saying his going out has benefited us because of his friends gave him money to help us, and once when I was pregnant, these people he met the same day helped us move into a new house. I told him that when he went out 2 years ago, he ended up in an accident that could have killed him. He was arrested once for having drugs in our car that didn't belong to him, and he skipped out on reading to our children. He accused me of throwing stones at glass houses, and then he said I broke our family. The reason we're here is because of me, and I'm just blaming everything else except myself. Great job, me? In the beginning of our MX sessions, I thought because we addressed the affair early on and what he asked for was closure that it was over and done. I was wrong. It has to be addressed now. What do we even talk about? How do we dive into this? My affair ended in August of last year. What is there to talk about? My husband isn't over the affair I had as originally thought. I need to know how to talk about it. If you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more of it to support the channel, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications.